to rise to participate in this important motion moved by the member for Fisher on the EU-Australia Leadership Forum. In fact, as the chair of the EU Parliamentary Friendship Group, I do want to say a few words in support of this major partnership. This partnership between Australia and the European Union at a leadership level is very significant and important because it does solidify the historical bonds between our two continents by broadening and intensifying the bilateral relationships. Deputy Speaker, it's no secret that we're living in challenging times and the world order is a very different place. Globally, the political landscape is ambiguous and we're still transcending the post-Cold War period. So where we'll end up in terms of a world order is probably not clear to any of us. The European Union is a powerhouse of nation-states with deeply rooted histories, heavily steeped in culture and learning, and is the birthplace of Western civilisation. It's a major player in leading the way forward. And of course, in the words of the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the whole world benefits from the European Union because it is a truly remarkable achievement and an unprecedented model for peaceful cooperations. Now, as a country, Australia is geographically isolated. We're a vast nation, much bigger than Europe in land size, but with a smaller population. But we're rich in resources, and our people are our greatest strength, and in fact our greatest resource. Our multicultural makeup allows us to naturally partner with the European Union through the many European migrants that have made Australia their home. The ties that bind the two countries are there, Deputy Speaker, and the EU Leadership Forum has the potential to strengthen, broaden and diversify these relationships in key areas. Through our liberal democracies and our commitment to the rule of law, Australia and the member states of the European Union can ensure peace for their citizens and instil in them the belief that this partnership will advance their safety and prosperity. And of course, this latest framework does build on the previous framework of 2008. Deputy Speaker, this recent initiative is particularly important to me as a federal member for Cornwall. I have many established communities in my electorate that are European, both Northern and Southern Europeans, and of course from Eastern and Central Europe. From my very strong Greek and Italian communities to Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, Maltese, Polish, Latvian, Spanish, Lithuanian, to name but a few of the diaspora communities who have settled successfully in Australia and whose children and grandchildren have risen to become leading academics, leading scientists, leading business people and even politicians in their new country. These communities, Deputy Speaker, have created our diversity and have added to our strengths. So in this sense, Europe has a lot to learn also from Australia and a lot to benefit from their interaction with Australia. We are a creative, diverse, vibrant, young and innovative nation. Now, while the business end of the relationship is very important, our dialogue with Europe should also cultivate its cultural dimension. Deputy Speaker, successful trade relationships need to be buttressed on a genuine cultural understanding. So I do hope that the EU-Australia Leadership Forum will focus as much on culture as it will on trade and economic exchange and the other areas of concern. The Australian government's intent to create closer economic cooperation with the European Union through negotiation of a European Union-Australia Free Trade Agreement, Deputy Speaker, does raise the possibility of many possibilities. Many of my diaspora European communities already are finding ways of trading with their original homelands, especially in niche Australian product markets. So any assistance for them is very important and they must and should be the beneficiaries of such a free trade agreement. This agreement will see Australian businesses become more competitive on a global scale. Our economy, of course, stands to succeed on an international scale, and with the EU's new global strategy for foreign and security policy, Australia is set to benefit a great deal from their focus on the Asia-Pacific region. Deputy Speaker, I've always maintained that Australia has a crucial bridging role to play in Euro-Asian relations. Modern Australia is a historically European society while geographically very much part of Asia. So Australia is ideally placed as a conduit because I suppose we sort of happen to be European and Asian with an Indigenous inheritance, of course. We must always remember that. So the forum's focus on working with the European Union government, business, academic, creative industries and civil society to exchange ideas is fundamental to its success and outcomes. I do look forward to the work of the forum. It's guided by a very impressive steering committee of Australia and Europe's greatest minds. Over the next 3 years, the forums will work to develop and exchange ideas and expertise. I'm particularly interested in the focus on young people as they are the leaders of tomorrow, and they need to be the ones that embrace new ideas and learn from each other.